Good evening, everyone. We are going to get started today in child's pose. This is your time. Take a few cleansing breaths if that's what you need. Start to become grounded, centered, ready to begin your practice. Observing the state of the body, what's going on with the mind, and coming to the breath. We are here for a few more minutes. Let's move together unless remaining in stillness serves you better. Walking our hands to the right side of the mat. You can stack the hands once you get there. Breathing here into the side body. Walking back to neutral with the hands, and then over to the left side of the mat when you're ready. And once again, walking the hands back to neutral. And if you're ready to join us, we're coming up into tabletop pose. Maybe taking a few cats and cows once you make your way to tabletop, or just remaining still. If we're remaining still, maybe we're focusing on the engagement of the upper body, the length of the spine. Cervical spine is getting long as the crown of the head reaches to the front of the room. Chin might be slightly tucked from the tailbone to the crown of the head, breathing prana. Making sure we have our shoulders stacked over our elbows, elbows stacked over our wrists, and hips stacked over knees. If you haven't taken any movement, start to take some now, moving with breath, whether that's cats and cows, barrel rolls of the hips. Good, Rocio. Maybe you'd like to start engaging that upper body a little bit more by really pushing into those hands, puffing up in between the shoulder blades, or doing your chin and chest push-ups, such as Carolyn is doing here. Good, Bree. Three more full breaths to get what you need. Stretching out the wrists, perhaps. Maybe even lifting those knees to a hover, turning the core on. We're going to tuck the toes and push back to down dog. Good. Slowly lowering back to that tabletop position when you're ready. Using our strength, upper body engagement, and our core engagement. Right arm extends long out in front of you. Left leg extends long back behind you, holding here. Now start to bring the knee to the elbow. On your exhale, crunch. Knee comes to elbow. Inhale, get long. Twice more, taking it to the depth that makes sense to you. Maybe some people are bringing their forehead to their knee. Maybe you're not ready for that yet. Taking time, we're still in our warm up. Good. Bending at the knee now. Heel goes up to the ceiling. Hand comes down to the mat. Let's take a few glute pulses here, lifting that heel up to the ceiling. 1, 2, and 3. Extend that leg long behind you once again. Left leg now crosses over the right. Side body stretch here. Breathe. You can keep the left leg long, or you can kind of fold it right behind the right knee, just like Carolyn did. Find your own versions. Breathe. Listen to yourself. You need different things. Coming back to that left leg extended long once again. Left leg comes over to the left side of the mat in an awkward airplane position. Good. And let's work lifting that left leg up to the ceiling 3 times, just as we did with our glute pulse. Good. After your third, holding for a breath, and then releasing the left leg right where it is. We're going to walk our hands back towards our torso, inhale ourselves on up, and stretch towards that left leg, whether that's in an upright position, such as Carolyn is doing, or you might want to bring your hands down to the floor, walking them towards that left leg. Or take your version, possibly something different or a variation. Releasing when you're ready, slowly with breath. Bring those hands back to the tabletop position, strong underneath you. Extend that left leg back behind you, and then back to a tabletop position. Round of cats and cows. We're going to switch sides here. Left arm extends out in front of us. Right leg now extends strong back behind us, holding for a breath or two. Good. Start your vinyasas, breath with movement. Maybe bring that elbow to the knee. 3 vinyasas total. Place the hand back down to tabletop position. Bend at the knee. Heel goes up to the ceiling. Glute pulses here. 3 of them. Moving with breath. Extending the right leg long once more. Right knee crosses behind the left. Taking what you did on the other side. Slowly with breath, starting to release. We'll bring that right leg out like awkward airplane and work your vinyasas here. After your third, lowering the right leg right where it is, walking the hands back towards the torso, inhaling ourselves on up, taking that side body stretch here. Explore. Get what you need out of the pose. 3 more breaths here if you'd like to take a different version. Good. Releasing whenever you feel evened out. Extending the right leg back behind you. Hands are in tabletop. We'll meet back in a tabletop. And let's transition to down dog. Setting up for our first belly down vinyasa. When you're ready, go ahead. Inhale, left leg reaches high to the sky, 3 point. You are welcome to take any ankle rotations or bending at the knee or anything else you have in your practice. We're here for 3 more breaths. Left foot steps to the top of the mat, warrior one. Don't be lazy in this pose. Think about the strength just in the name. Think about the strength of your legs, creating that solid foundation, and follow it up to the arms and the shoulders. 2 more full breaths. Intense leg stretch. Shortening your stance, back foot hops up. We're forward folding, hinging at the hips over a straight left leg. Good, Rocio. Breathe. Two more full breaths. Slowly, with breath, when you're ready to release, breathing a bend to the front knee, hands down to the mat, back foot steps back. Good. Let's spin 180 degrees to the back of the room. Inhale, right leg lifts, 3 points. Take anything you need here. We're here for 3 more breaths. Good, Rocio. One more breath. Warrior one. One more breath. Intense leg stretch. Two more full breaths. Breathing a bend to the front knee after your second full breath. Hands down to the mat. Rear foot steps back. Spin 180 degrees to the front of the room. Belly down vinyasa. Right leg lifts high to the sky. Here for three more full breaths. Maybe let's all work on some core engagement here. Keeping the shape of the upper body, the strength of the standing leg. Just bring the right knee into the chest. On your next inhale, extend to 3-point. Twice more at your own pace, using your own breath count. Parsva Konasana, extended side angle. Three more full breaths. Ardha Hamanasana, half splits. Releasing here, breathing a bend to the front knee. We're going to spin 180 degrees to the back of the room. Left leg lifts, 3-point. Once you're set up in your 3 points, take your vinyasas here, down dog cheetahs. Parsva Konasana. Ardha Hamanasana, half splits. Slowly releasing. Spinning back to the front of the room, belly down vinyasa. Shifting forward to our high plank. Holding here. Option here to play around with lifting the left hand, Superman, and then lifting the right hand, Superman. Try to hold for one breath. Options to do each arm 3 times. After you're finished, slowly lowering with control down to your belly. Ekabhuja 2 on the left arm. Releasing here, taking the other side when you're ready. Good job. Excellent, everyone. When you feel evened out, release, taking Eka Bhuja 1 on the right arm. And then Eka Bhuja 1 on the left arm. When you're ready, we'll meet in down dog any way you'd like to get there. Shortening our down dog. Right hand remains where it is. Left hand reaches back for the back of the left ankle. One arm down dog. Nice, Carolyn. If you'd like to play with balance, Carolyn is lifting her right leg here. Nice, Bree. Releasing, switching sides when you're ready. One arm down dog. Left hand is down. And when you're evened out, back to a regular down dog. Right leg lifts high to the sky, 3-point. Right foot steps to the top of the mat. Warrior 3, your version. That could mean a grounded warrior for you. That could be grounded warrior, then playing around with a balanced warrior. You all know where you're going. This is nothing new. Breathe. Let the breath in your yoga take you to where you are today. Turn off the thinking mind. Turn off the delays, the reactions. And release when you're ready. Let's take a low lunge here. Lizard low lunge. Active or passive, your choice. If it an active version or a longer version, such as Carolyn is in, can help open up that left hip area, those hip flexors. You're engaging that left leg. Another breath or two, and then let it go. Let's take diagonal spear from here. Let's open up that left hip a little more. Right hand reaches back for the top of the left foot. Kick into it. Feel the stretch in your shoulder. Excellent. Nice, Rocio. Releasing here. We're going to spin 180 degrees to the back of the room. Left leg lifts, 3-point. Warrior 3. Lizard lunge. Awesome, y'all. When you're ready, releasing for a breath or two as we transition into diagonal spear pose. Releasing here, spinning back to the front of the room, belly down vinyasa. Left leg lifts high to the sky, 3-point. Bending at the knee, opening the hip, option to flip your dog here. As we transition back to 3-point, option to take it into wild thing. Back to 3-point, standing splits. When you've had enough, stay as long as you like. We're coming into full splits. Don't let me rush you. Pigeon pose. When you're ready, releasing here. Spinning 180 degrees to the back of the room. Right leg lifts, 3-point. Bending at the knee, opening the hip, flipping the dog if you did so on the other side. Back to 3 point, trying wild style or wild thing. Once again, meeting in 3 point. Standing splits. Full splits. Pigeon pose. And releasing. Spinning back to the front of the mat, belly down vinyasa. We're all going to practice our jump throughs. We're aiming when we come through with our jump throughs to come into boat pose. Nice. So we'll all meet in boat. Holding here. We're going to try for 10 breaths. About 5 more if you still have it. When we release, slowly coming into Gomukhasana. See if you can tuck that right leg underneath or the left leg. Yeah, this is fine. Right leg underneath is fine. Option here for the Gomukhasana arms. Maybe you'd like to forward fold first, working on the hips, and then focus on the arms, maybe eventually forward folding with the arms. If your arms don't feel ready for it, maybe you're trying for one-armed internal rotation, Ekabhuja, Swastikasana. Switching legs When you're ready, do your arms accordingly. When you all feel evened out, you may release. Shake those legs out if you need to. We are practicing our jump backs. We will meet in down dog. Good. We're going to make our way to our backs for our back bend. Everyone, practice your jump throughs again. Nice. Coming to our backs, feet flat, knees up to the ceiling. You're going to take this at your own pace. Maybe 6 breaths to get warmed up, practicing bridge pose or a different variation. And then we're going to try for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Maybe you're not ready, but that is where we're shooting for. Once you get into your Urdhva Dhanurasana, ideally 10 breaths would be nice for today's practice. Rocio, know that your feet are out pretty wide, it looks like from here. Good. You want to have your feet in line with your knees, and your knees are in line with your hips. Excellent. Think about that core strength and that inner thigh strength when you start to lift for your bridge poses. Good, everyone. Back bends are intense. All right? You're a hard worker. Those are places where you might want to watch how hard you're going. Forward fold is next when you're ready. Any version, again, at least 10 breaths. If you did more in your back bend, you're shooting for that number. Good, Rocio. When you are finished, don't let me rush you. You should be counting your own breaths. You're setting up for a twist. That could be half Lord of the Fishes. Could be from your back. We've all done twists before. Take the one that makes sense to you. At least 5 breaths in each side. You can hold for longer if you'd like. We have plenty of time, maybe trying for 10 breaths and see how that feels. really using the breath. After your twists, taking anything you might need before taking a pranayama. Recommended pranayama, alternate nostril breathing. If you need a cool down, Sithali Brahmari. We're doing our pranayama until we quiet the mind, the thoughts disappear, or we have that cool down depending on what we're doing. After your pranayama, you can start your meditation or recline for shavasana. This is your time. starting to come back from your restful state. Once you've made your way back from your restful state, from your Shavasana, we'll meet seated any way that's comfortable to you, facing the camera, hands to heart center. One Om to take us out. If you'd like to join us, one being the universe, Om being the universal sound of one. Inhale. Om. The light in me honors and sees the light in you.